Hey y'all. So I wanted to do an update on my whole weird perimenopause burning mouth syndrome thing. So I have some information and some stuff that I did that kind of worked for me for the last week. So I wanted to share that with you. I don't know if you can see here, I'll come up a little closer to the camera, but it looks mostly better. I still got a little bit of cracking over here, but it's really not too bad. And it feels much better. Like I haven't had to do the, cold cherries or cold cloths on my lips in almost a week, about 5 days now. I think it's been a week. I think it's been 8 days since my last video, or maybe a week. So I wanted to share with you what I did. I had done some research into, and so did Dave, into what in the world is this is going on and how do you address it. And I mentioned in my last video that one of the things that can help you is vitamin B12. So that's what I started. I ordered some vitamin B12 and I started taking it. This one is just, Dave actually, he ended up buying it for me, 500 micrograms a day, and I'm just taking that once a day. Now, that's in addition to my regular women's multivitamin, and I wanted to talk a little bit about that because I kind of had a surprise. I was on a women's multivitamin that I really, really liked, and then with all the supply chain issues and stuff back in March, I was having a harder time getting a hold of it. So I think it was in April, I switched to a different multivitamin. And over the next few weeks, things started getting kind of a little weirder and little weirder and little weirder. One of the things I'm not sure I mentioned on my last video about the burning lips was that I've also been having more hot flashes lately. And I had gone through a couple of stages where I got hot flashes for a little while, and then they kind of were just minimal or not that bad or only triggered when I had a glass of wine. But they've just come back in force. And so I finally went back. I was like, I wonder how much B12 is in this vitamin that I'm taking. And I looked at how much was in the vitamin I was taking, and it occurred to me, I'm like, I should go look and see if the one I really liked is back in stock. Well, it was, and so I was super excited, and I looked at the ingredients, and it has more than double the vitamin B12 than what I'm currently taking. And so basically what happened is in April, I just dropped my just baseline B12 level. And so that might be one of the reasons this whole thing started. And then another thing that I did not realize when I switched was that my old vitamin, which is once again, my new vitamin, and it's really good stuff. It's Garden of Life, My Kind Organics. This also has black cohosh in it. And a lot of people have been telling me, and I've been seeing in a lot of research, that black cohosh is an herb that seems to really help with reducing your incidence of hot flashes. So when I switched, even though it was because of supply chain and not because I wanted to, when I switched, I not only dropped my vitamin B12 intake, but I also unknowingly stopped taking the black cohosh that's in this vitamin. So that might be an explanation. I'm not 100%. I got my old vitamins, new vitamins, back on Sunday and took them immediately and have been taking them all week, and my lips are so much better. They're not 100%. I got almost 100%, and the next day I woke up and they were flared a little bit, so I'm guessing there's probably also something else going on, like there is a food or something like that, or it could purely be hormonal. But it's a lot better. So if any of you are in my situation where you're in menopause or perimenopause and you think this could be going on because of something hormonal and isn't being triggered by something completely different, it might be something for you to try. So again, I just added B12. I upped my base B12 by this vitamin, and I added a B12 supplement, and I've also added black cohosh to my regimen, not on purpose. It just came with the vitamin, but I was super excited because as soon as I started taking that vitamin, like 24 hours later, things started calming down. So between that and the B12, that's what I recommend. Again, I'm not a doctor. I am just literally a woman who is going through perimenopause and is trying to figure all this stuff out. One other thing that I just want to shout out is for the past few years, since they've been out, I've been taking these Flow, their PMS gummy vitamins. I've been taking those pretty much since they came out, since these guys debuted them a couple of years ago, I think. I've been taking them, and they help with like a little bit of hormone regulation, like during and in between your monthly cycle. And being in perimenopause, I'm going to be brutally honest, I don't have anything like that would be predictably called a cycle. It just comes and goes when it wants to. But this has given me just a little bit more evenness in between. So I feel like one of those people who is, like always touting stuff like, oh my gosh, I took this supplement and that supplement. But really, when you're in perimenopause, and because this is such an under-researched and under-studied part of healthcare in general, but women's health as well, you got to do what you got to do, and you got to try what works for you. So these are what worked for me. Let me see if I can get all this. And we will see. Also, one of the things that Dave and I have been doing is we've been trying to clean up our eating and just add in some good things. So a couple of things that we have just baseline in our diet is we put a little beetroot powder and a little turmeric in our coffee every day. And those are good for kind of opening up the blood vessels and for inflammation. So it's also something else to try, especially if your lips feel like they're inflamed. I know big pouty lips are in, but not when it feels like they're gonna like burn from the inside out. So just wanted to give you guys all that update. I will come back probably in a week and share not only what's going on with that, but talk about some of the other wild and crazy things I've been on this perimenopause ride, and just maybe they can help you guys. If you have questions, if you have comments, if you've experienced this, if you've tried something else and it's worked for you, let us know. I want us to have this conversation. All right, guys, have a great rest of your day or evening, wherever you are, and I'll be back in a few days. Bye.